Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about Ken from Love and Marriage Huntsville. He was actually interviewed by Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly tonight during their Messy Monday show. And I believe that Ken has convinced himself that Martell's reputation is the reason why it comes off like he's getting played by Trisha. So we're going to get into it all. Now, before we do, you know what favor I'm going to ask. If you could please be so gracious and hit that like button for me, I would really appreciate it. Then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show, Style, and Spirit. I would love to have you as one of the showstoppers. Everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, Ken, he talks about, because definitely Dr. Heavenly asked him in a roundabout way. She said, was there anything revealed on the show that you did not know beforehand? And Ken knew what it was. He just automatically started talking about Trisha going over to Martell's home and how she definitely tried to omit that. But we all know that Stormy and Destiny called her out on it. And because it was on film, she decided to confess to Ken. We saw that both scenes in the same episode. And here is what Ken had to say.
The whole Martell situation has been blown out of proportion. I think I did tell her, like, hey, yeah, you should have told me that y'all met up for whatever reason, just so it wouldn't be a surprise because, it was said that y'all never ever had any, I call it a personal encounter. If I go to somebody's house, that's personal. But just from all the conversations I've had with her and the conversations I've even had with Martell, I think more or less the situation got blown up because of who Martell is. And that's not to say he's a bad guy, but, he's a ladies' man. Everybody know how, he gets down with the ladies. So I think that is what has made that whole situation more than what it was.
You know what? I'm a woman, so I think totally different. And I know men are from Mars and we from Venus or vice versa. But my thought process would be the problem lied where she didn't tell the truth from the very beginning. She said she had never been to his house. You know what I'm saying? That's what she told the ladies. So my issue is, why would she lie?
That's a question I can't really answer for Trisha. Me and Trisha had the conversation about it. I told her, from that point going forward, there's no reason to hide anything. And I think I could be wrong, but I think she didn't want to really tell me that because she didn't want me to think what everybody else is thinking. Going to Martell house, for training, most people are not going to believe that. Most people are just not going to believe that. So, yeah, I understand. I kind of understand why. I wish he wouldn't have. But here's the thing: Trisha's my woman. I've been with her long enough to understand her, and I'm going to back her. With the whole not telling the truth about it. Yeah, we had our conversations about it, but she's not a woman that is going to sleep around. She's not a woman that's going to do all those things that I guess come along with dealing with Martell. So I don't have an issue with it, and it was before me. So even if it did happen, it was before me. Like, what am I supposed to be mad about something that happened before me?
I agree with you 100%.
Okay, Ken, yeah, her interaction with Martell, it may have been before you, but today, post the time that they met over at his house, they are on a reality TV show where your girlfriend, Trisha, was visibly annoyed and bothered when Martell pretended like he did not know her. In that initial scene where we saw her with Martell over at Stormy's home, and he was like, "Hi, how are you? I'm Martell," and extends his hand like he's introducing himself to her for the first time. That is what is suspect because she did not just go along with it. She had to make it an issue. Oh my gosh, Martell didn't know me, to the point where she even brought it up to you. And you, as her man, you should have thought to yourself, why does it matter that he didn't know you? That just would have been something that I would have had in the back of my mind. But yeah, this was before you two got together, but it's being brought back up because the two of you are on a reality TV show. Definitely, Ken is making Martell the fall guy. He's trying to make Martell the fall guy for what seems to be holes in his romantic relationship with Trisha. He actually said the truth, which is, Martell is a ladies' man. He actually said that we all know how he gets down with the ladies. Ken is the first dude that I feel like has ever been that explicit concerning what Martell does with the Paramore and, everyone else, his whole roster, to fake dating Sheree, but they both admitted to being intimate, allegedly, so he's totally using Martell's rep as a fall guy, essentially, for the little holes in he and Trisha's relationship. That seems to be a huge red flag. But I feel like he tells himself these things in order to stay in the relationship with Trisha. And she's definitely not stopping him. But Ken is very much so aware of how the viewers see he and Trisha's relationship and how we feel like it looks like she's playing him and she's using him. And this is what Ken had to say to that.
And it's not in no way, shape, form, or fashion is me being cocky, arrogant, conceited. I don't want this to be taken like that. But I am aware of who I am, the way I look, my success, the things I offer, and there's no woman in this world that can make me be dumb. Like, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Like, I could be one of those guys that out here that I can have a woman for Monday through Sunday if I wanted it to be like that. So I'm 100% confident in Trisha. I'm confident in our relationship. I'm confident in the things that we have going on, the places we're going. Do we have issues sometimes? Yeah, Trisha has a horrible attitude sometimes, and she knows it. She's hard to communicate with sometimes. But a lot of that stems from her past and her relationships, and it's something that I'm willing to stick around and work on with her.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Okay, so Ken is saying he is self-confident. He knows that he has a fabulous, amazing body. He knows that he is smart and accomplished. As a matter of fact, in the beginning of the interview, he said that, of course, he was born in Dayton, Ohio. He moved down to Alabama when he was about 9 years old. He joined the military when he was 21 years old, and then he started his own trucking business. And we all know that he is a trucker. He goes out on the road. So he is a working Black man with his own business, and he owns several cars. He gave one of them to Trisha's son, Xavier. He confirmed that he did not buy Xavier a car. He gave him one of his vehicles, which was still very generous of Ken. But Ken is self-aware, and he said that there is no woman on this earth that he can be dumb for. He said that he is a smart man. And I'm sure that you are intelligent, Ken. Obviously, you know how to manage your money. You know how to pay your bills on time. You know how to take good care of your vehicles because you're able to take care of a woman and her 2 children, and you operate your own business. It just seems like perhaps when it comes to this romantic relationship, you definitely seem like you are in love. And it's just like the saying goes, love is blind. And I think that your love for Trisha is blinding you to some of her inconsistencies, some of the things that look a certain way. Now, Ken talked about with Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King, he said that because of Trisha's past, her broken marriage to Marquez, her losing both her parents just 7 months apart and losing her sister, that she is broken. When she wakes up in the morning, he asks her, how is she doing? He said, if she seems like she's in a negative mood, he instantly goes into prayer. And he said that the prayer lightens up her mood to help her have a good day. He seems very therapeutic for Trisha. And I don't know if Ken kind of draws to people that have a lot of emotional needs so that he feels needed and desired. That is what it's giving. Because during this interview, he also said that, his brother is in prison and his brother has a child whom Ken tries to help out with. He has a close friend who's dealing with a very serious situation right now, and he has to be their shoulder for them to cry on. So it sounds like Ken prides himself in being there for people emotionally. And if I am correct, then that would make sense why he gravitated towards Trisha with everything that she has experienced in her near past. I don't think it's been like 20, 30 years, since her parents have died. It has not been. And, she's still married and still going through that as well. So I'm not going to say that he's dumb, but I think that he may find himself in situations where he is emotionally there for other people. And I don't know what he gets out of it in return. I'm sure he gets sex, but I just don't want to see, a quality man, a quality Black man get played. Now, there was the whole incident of Ken not attending the interview that they did last week with Trisha. And Trisha talked about him going out of town. And then Ken is going to elaborate more on why he did not do the interview with her last week.
Alone, and I'm gonna let it go on, and I'm gonna keep moving. Now, what caused you to miss our last interview? Because I know we had a standing appointment, did we not, or no? I'm just asking. What caused you? I love this standing appointment. She's not.
Listen, I'm one to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you about much of anything.
I'm just saying it ain't none of my damn business. That's no. To be honest,
it's what it is. It's probably somebody gonna find out about it. Me and Trisha had a disagreement, and one thing about me is I don't like somebody to try to make a fool of me. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't stay with a woman I felt like was playing in my face. Everybody keeps using that playing in my face thing. Like, I'm not that guy. So we just had a disagreement. I think Trisha's attitude about certain things, about certain situations when she has to be held accountable, sometimes it can get a little much. And I've been going through a lot of stuff myself. My brother is in prison. I have a friend, that's going through his own personal issues, and I have to be the backbone and the shoulder to lean on and the shoulder to cry on for a lot of people. So when it comes to Trisha, that's like a safe space where I consider should be a safe space. So when me and her have certain situations that don't really, the communication isn't there, it probably pisses me off the most. So I think time build up made us, a whole situation blow up more than it had to. I kind of lost my cool and lost my temper, and I left. I typically don't leave. I typically go across the street and sit in the car and breathe a little bit, but I left. I went out of town. I stayed in a hotel for 2 or 3 days, and I had to get my mind together.
Carlos, fix your face, nigga.
Okay, so yes, he talked about how they had an argument last week, and he felt so negative about it that he actually went out of the state of Alabama, and checked into a hotel for a couple of days. So now, of course, you all, if you've been following me for a while now, you know that I'll do a staycation in a minute. When I interviewed Dr. Francis, I was doing a staycation at a hotel, but that's usually just to feel like you're away for the weekend for a couple of days. You use the exercise room, you get in the pool or go sit in the pool area, and you chill. But he actually went to the hotel to physically get away from Trisha. And so I just feel like, I just hope he's getting what he deserves out of the relationship. He said that there have been women in his DMs and women who were saying that they can treat him better than Trisha treats him. And he actually said, but if we're wrong for getting involved while Trisha is still married, how are these women even better since they're hitting on me? So I feel like, again, he tells himself things to make excuses for him to accept his current status with Trisha. because as long as she is still legally married, they can never be married themselves, right? She can't be married to two people at the same time. The second marriage would not be valid. So she has that marriage as her leverage, as her crutch to not make things official with Ken. So I just hope that the guy isn't setting himself up for a huge disappointment. Now, when Carlos asked Ken if they were going to get married, he responded with, "We'll be together forever." You know, initially on the surface, it sounds super romantic to hear a manly man, a manly black man say, "We're going to be together forever." But it's not like he could officially say, "Oh, yeah, we're getting married as soon as she gets divorced. We're going to be married the first of the year or next summer." He can't say any of that because Trisha is still married. And for the record, he said Ken and Trisha, you know, they initially met online just talking about fitness, you know, working out. And he claims that Trisha was upfront initially about being married. So if that's true, Ken, I'm not really sure why you would get involved with a married person. But he did, and here we are. So now, what did you all think about this Messy Monday show and the interview with Ken? Do you think that he is getting played by Trisha? Do you see Ken and Trisha together, let's say 2 years from now? Or do you think that they will break up? Do you think that he's going to come to his senses? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. The support really does mean a lot to me. Please hit the like button on this video as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And please subscribe to Shows Style and Spirit if you have not already done so. I hope that you had a magnificent Monday. I hope that it was not a manic Monday. Work was busy, so I was relieved to be able to log out. And I actually watched this show from the park on my phone because I just wanted to physically get out of the house, you know. And I was drinking a bunch of water while I was watching it. And then once I was at the end of the interview, I had to go, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and prepare to like make the video. So that was what I did. And, you know, yeah, when you're watching your favorite YouTubers, definitely chug on some water, get your water in, or you can even eat your water if you like watermelon or cucumbers. You know, eat those raw vegetables and raw fruits while you're watching your favorite YouTubers. It will continue to add to your fineness. Trust me, baby, those raw fruits and the water and get enough sleep, that just makes you the continuous beauty that you are. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.